So today is a real special day for me. I get a chance to meet, I'm privileged in meeting the family of Mr. Beverly. You know, in growing up, I always knew the importance of family. Family is everything in the world for me.
It actually started in a place called King and Queen County, Virginia. And our grandparents, William, Edward, and Mary Beverly, had 18 children. 18, 9 boys, 9 girls. And we are the offsprings of some of the last of those 18. And Frank's mother, Will's mother, Frank's mother's name was Rose. Will's mother's name was Liz. Well, we call her Liz, but Aunt Liz, my Aunt Rose. And my father's name was William. Now, William is named after my father and my grandfather. And so we kept that name going. I think Will is the last one of the Beverlys that have been named William since that time. But it all started with them. And so the 18 children were very, very close. Very close. And we came together more so in the summer because they had this big family reunion every summer on the second Sunday in August, which brought the family all back to this farm that our grandparents had, and it was a 6-acre watermelon farm. So we all had a chance to be there, be together, play together, and it was a 4-bedroom house with 18 children. So by the time they all left from home and they moved to Philadelphia. Most of them moved to Philadelphia. And so we spent time in Virginia in the summer months. And when they came, they had such a grand time. The Beverlys were fun-loving, just a close-knit family. So it continues with us. And we take pride in that. We take pride in that.
I want to point out that I lived on that farm with my grandparents before I moved to live with my mother. And so that time of the year was very special for me because it got to the point where when my grandmother passed, it was just myself and my grandpa. So when that second Sunday in August came, I looked forward to seeing these folks.
Major. Frank can tell you about that.
Big time. Big time. The family is church.
In fact, that second Sunday was all about church.
Right.
It was about a camp meeting at church. It's the spirit that he brings with his music.
Absolutely.
And he was brought up with that.
Yeah.
Frank has one of the most kindest hearts I've ever seen in anybody.
Absolutely.
And that again is a Beverly trait.
Mm-hmm.
It's a spirit, spiritual, and I think that's what we have. It's a spiritual liking to whatever it is we do. It is filled with a spirit. It's not pretense. It's a spirit, and that's what he speaks to. That's what his music speaks to. Every Sunday, if you went out, and I've heard people say this all the time about other families, but there was prayer on Sunday mornings. If you went out the night before, that's okay, but you're getting up for church. You had to go to church, no matter what.
Well, to be honest with you, I feel like our mothers and fathers, respective mothers and fathers, are looking at us now.
Yes.
And we believe that they're smiling at us because we're what's the word, emulating them?
Mm-hmm.
We're following the same patterns that they put here before us.
Because they were that way.
Exactly.
They took care of one another.
Exactly.
They took care of one another. They took care of our grandfather when he was sick. They just did. They didn't put him in a home, not one day. They took turns in taking care of him until the day he died.
Wow.
On the streets of Philadelphia, singing doo-wop.
Yeah.
because Frankie Lyman was his idol, and he could tell you about Frankie Lyman. He would be on the streets and singing on the corners, and so I feel like he made it because he was determined.
Yes.
Even then,
Yes.
he was determined, and he knew he had to work hard to get there, and he didn't stop.
I mean, I'm sure he had a lot of no's before he started to get those yeses. You know, he can tell you about those. So it's
Yeah, I was into music, but God had me chained to gospel music, even when I was little. And I was wondering why he was doing it when I was a kid. Because I liked it, you know, but I didn't know what he was trying to get me to do. And it doesn't seem like he wanted me to be a minister, but he wanted me to be a teacher. He wanted, and I've done that in my regular music. No, I don't do a lot of gospel music. But he's given me that.
He didn't give you gospel music, but he gave you music to sing about love. And that's what you did.
yeah,
Yeah, and he, you know, I know what I know about Jesus and God. It wasn't just, you know, he used me for these things, and I wasn't in the church every Sunday and all that kind of, but I'm made from that. And it got more and more as I got older, and it's put me in a position that I never thought I would be in. I think there's a lot more to be done. He's chosen me to do a lot more than what I'm doing right now. So that's why this thing is exciting to me now. I think I'm looking forward to doing more of this. People follow us a lot, really big time. The Mays, people who follow the band Mays is usually the majority of them are God-loving people. So it's kind of taught me. I learned a lot from my grandparents, and the family. They had a lot of aunts and uncles in the family. So it's a gospel family.
That's true.
That's true.
Yeah, it's
Very true.
That's a musical family.
it's a musical family too. Yes.
You know, you're not going. You don't see, not at this level, but this level. But what we had, those uncles and those aunts,
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
what
it's
they
the same.
started. He's the culmination of that. He
Yeah.
took it to that next level. We
That-
feel
that-
like this three of us here, we feel that we can conquer the world, man, because we have God on our side.
We love
We're
each other.
doing, we love it,
Yeah,
but
we
we're
do.
doing the right thing. We're
Yes.
doing what's right.
That's right.
We're not hurting anyone. That's not our intention, and never has been. We're just about
And the family
Supporting
is
one
that
another.
way. The family, we have, it's a big family, and then aunts and uncles, it must be, my grandparents got, I don't know how many.
it's a lot.
And they do teach us, a lot about this. And I'm getting more and more into this. And I think there's going to be a bigger thing that happens.
Something that you see, you feel it.
I do.
Mhm.
I do.
Feel
I
it.
do.
Yeah.
Because I'm older now, and he's got me in the middle of this now. He's got me getting ready to do something, and I've been been a child of God since I was a kid, and all. Yeah, we go down to the church was big time. And I got uncles and aunts and that sing and love God too, but this. I feel he wants me to get involved. And I think that's going to change a little bit of this in terms of what's going to happen. The family is going to be more involved in what we want and going to do. It's
Making a difference.
It's a big time thing.
Mm-hmm.
So
And he's always been that way. He's always wanted to make a difference.
yeah.
He always wanted to make a difference. Frank, like I said, he had such a big heart, a story to tell you. When Katrina happened, there was a man that was on top of his house, and Frank saw him on top of his house, and he had his assistant, Karen at the time, at that time, who is still his assistant, his personal assistant, contact where this man is, find out who he is. And this is not anything about a braggadocious anything, it was just trying to show you his heart. He found where that man was and put him in a home, bought a home, and put him in his family. And then the man's wife, they never did find her. But Frank bought the home and let that man and his children stay in that house. But that's the kind of heart he has. But that came from the upbringing that he had. The grandparents and the parents, that's who they were. They were just giving, loving people.
They really were giving
loving people. And like I said, that's just the Beverly way.
I think there's more to come. I don't know what he's planning to do,
Hasn't revealed itself yet.
Mm-hmm.
but I do feel there's more to come. Now, I've always been a believer in God as a child, but I think something more is going to happen. I have a pretty good reputation in the music business.
Yes.
It's going to give me a shot at
Other things?
things. Yeah, I really do. And then I run across somebody like you. I don't even know where you come from. What it is about me and us that you like and all that. It's amazing how God works. So, but I see it in a good way, and I think it means we're going to do some positive, major things.
We're doing it.
Yeah,
We're doing it.
yeah. I really believe that.
So they say, I guess, stay tuned.
I look at what he's given me,
Mm-hmm.
the people he's given me,
Mm-hmm.
so it's just, he's done this to other people in the Bible. We won't be the first.
Mm-hmm.
So I really, that's interesting you should say. I think it's going somewhere else,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to be more than what I ever known it to be.